Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of Absolutely Clueless, Season 3. Gonna dive right in. This one, I'm sure you could have seen that it's all about body image.
Yes.
We want to know, and we found out, your opinions on body image trends for men and women. We all grew up in the 21st century, so we've seen body trends come and go.
Yeah, and there has been a lot of changes. We live in the age of social media as well, so...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So these trends come by pretty quick.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's go straight into it. We asked you guys, what are some of the beauty trends you saw growing up? And you guys said, well, you guys gave us quite a few answers. So someone said push-up bras, straps out. So like strapless push-up bras.
I think like with this, no, I think that means like the bras, like wearing a vest top like this and you can clearly see like the bra. I think that's what I thought of that.
Well, I think push-up bras are like, I remember the Victoria's Secret bra was a big thing in our school.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, like, a few of the girls got them at 14 because everyone wanted big boobs.
Yeah, no, that's true. I definitely remember big boobs being like such a trend in like early high school.
Yeah.
And then anyone else, because obviously we're like pre-teens.
Yeah.
Or just becoming teenagers, just about to go through puberty. So some people have got boobs, and then it's like the girls who haven't got boobs yet or never do. Like I just saw like comparing themselves and feeling like
yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. It's wild because we were on a really like interesting time period. Like we were in a transition, like from junior school. That was like the early 2000s, so it was very, still very skinny. Think Britney Spears, Paris Hilton. That was the vibe. I mean, it was like a common thing to hear in like American TV shows, like, does my bum look big in this? And that was like a bad thing.
Yeah, I always find that crazy when people talk about their thighs and their thighs being really fat, and I'm like, that's a problem.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Yeah.
So we grew up in that, and then it's almost like someone completely changed the rules. In the dawn of Kim Kardashian, people loving Jennifer Lopez's curves, loving Beyonce's curves. But when I look back, actually, Beyonce wasn't actually that curvy when I look back. She is now.
Yeah, no, I think she always had like the waist to hip ratio. That like
she was
curvy, but she was really
She was like a skinny queen. Like she
didn't have a lot of like body fat percentage. Yeah.
Yeah, like Kim Kardashian was actually thicker than her.
Yeah.
When I look back.
Yeah.
But I think in the scheme of like what was popular in the 2000s, Beyonce was considered curvy, which is wild because she was so small.
Yeah.
And she still is very small, but she's a lot more of it like a curvy figure now because it's a lot more, it's embraced, and she probably feels more confident and comfortable in embracing that. I mean, she's older now as well, she probably gives less of a fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just wild because we experienced the ending of the skinny big boob trend, and then went and saw that big bums were getting more and more love.
Yeah, definitely. And just like the curvy, this curvy BBL era was definitely starting to grow as we became like young adults. I feel like. Yeah,
and I think as well is that just kids?
Yeah, I think it's just kids playing.
I was like, is someone getting
murdered? Yeah.
Am I gonna have to call? Okay.
Yeah.
I think as well, because we were there at the cusp of, the skinny to curvy BBL vibe and trend, we were quite naive to the fact that people could get surgeries to look a certain way.
Yeah.
We both kind of fell for those fitness gurus on Instagram.
Yeah,
at the beginning of Instagram as well, when less people were aware of editing.
Yeah, exactly. Like in that age, I think I specifically remember when we were like 14, 15.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to have like a six pack. I don't know why, but I was just obsessed with having a six pack, and at the same time also having like a really, like shelf bum, which I think is still like really trending a lot on social media now as well. But it was just a bit unrealistic to like have a six-pack, because that really means you have to have such a low body fat percentage.
Yeah, and to have to consider all that as a child as well,
Yeah,
is very
definitely
dangerous.
And it's not just that people are getting surgery to have bodies like that, they are just editing their photos and videos as well.
Exactly.
And these days a lot of people are having just like injections as well, just fillers. Like you can get butt fillers, which isn't a proper, it's not a proper surgery, and it's definitely not as expensive, but it still is a cosmetic procedure that is a lot more accessible to people. And it
exactly. We definitely fell into the trap of, I think as well, like you said, we were pre-teens, we were growing bodies, and we were comparing our growing bodies to that of adult bodies that had fully formed, and that weren't even real most of the time. So it's so crazy that we experienced both trends, and yet both were just as inaccessible as each other.
Yeah, exactly, I know.
Scary.
It is scary.
So yeah, push-up bras for sure. I remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
Someone said thin eyebrows.
Yeah, thin eyebrows. Oh my god, if you look at pictures of me in like year 7 up until year 9 or year 10, actually no, to be honest, even in sixth form, my eyebrows were just like completely plucked off. Like I'm surprised I still have them now. Like because they managed to survive that whole.
One of our friends, because like we're friends with quite a few people. Well, not quite a few, but like we're friends with people from high school. And I remember when she had one of her friends, one of like the other girls in our year, like pluck her eyebrows, and she went back home, and her mum was like, went sick.
Yeah, I think so.
But like you don't realise, and obviously like sometimes you can overpluck and it can actually permanently damage.
Yeah, like that hair's, it's not coming back. That was pulled out at the roots.
Yeah,
like,
the root, honey.
Yeah.
But like obviously her mum knows, but she was just like, what?
Yeah.
And it's just kids like I mean, it's wild because you know it's still kids that have the mentality of children that are trying to be grown up and follow grown up makeup and body trends. You don't realise the impact of you know doing these little hacks. That's scary as well. There were a lot of hacks I remember on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. And especially I remember the Kylie Jenner trend when everyone was like doing that was it a suction cup or something on their lips?
I remember that. And people were literally sat in the lunch hall at school doing that. Girls with already very voluptuous lips. We're doing that, and it's scary as well because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is sexualize your lips as a 15-year-old girl. You're not realizing the dangers of that because you just want you want to be sexy.
No, I just think it's so sad, and I feel like you can see the effect that, like, almost the detrimental effect that whole trend has had on our generation, because now that that generation is the new adults. You can see like a lot of the what do you call it, like injections and fillers are becoming so popular.
It's mainstream now.
And it's probably rooted in insecurities that were started during those kind of trends.
For sure. I think as well, I remember people suffering from like vessels bursting because of that trend.
Shit, man, that's crazy.
Like, fully like rupturing.
The things people will do just to try and like stop feeling insecure because of like some stupid societal trends that are coming in.
I know,
it's
scary.
Really sad.
How do you explain that to someone who's 15 and just wants to like look like their favourite celebrity though?
I know. I do wonder like what the next generation is going through, because obviously we've kind of gotten past the worst of it for ourselves anyway. And I feel like we've managed to come to a point where we have enough like self-love and enough what do you call it, like knowledge about the world to be able to like separate our opinions of ourselves and not like get too caught up in like comparing ourselves and like
just
idolizing celebrities and their bodies and their beauty and stuff.
It can still catch me sometimes though, like when those Met Gala pictures come out and I'm seeing everyone's just like snatched waists. And I know obviously they've got like £1 million corsets on under there, but I'm just like, wow, like if only I had the time and like I had a job that emphasized my like body image as much to care that much, if that makes sense. Because I think like a lot of celebrities, it's part of their job to look snatched. They have to look the part,
and it's not like they are keeping themselves fit, it's because they have to, like they literally have personal trainers, nutritionists that are like with them all the time, preparing them food and making sure that they don't
slip out of
their
that
diet.
lifestyle,
Yeah.
And obviously the pressures of that, I'm sure, are so difficult.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you just want to, when you do care about getting a certain body, you do care about like prioritizing fitness and nutrition, sometimes you do just wish like it wasn't something that you had to do as well as your job. Sometimes it'd be nice to think about it as being like part of your job and like being able to infiltrate it into your everyday life would just make things so much easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just in an ideal world. Anyway,
some more of the trends that people said is like skinny with big boobs, short with big boobs and big bum, but small waist and flat belly. I feel like that is like a lot. I think that is still now. That's basically Kim Kardashian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Small waist.
A lot of people are saying the Kardashians are slowly but surely reducing their butt sizes.
Going back to like the skinny era, like the skinny era is trend is in. By the way, we're mainly just talking about like women for now, but it's funny that you mentioned about like Kim Kardashian because I feel like because their taste in men has kind of changed. Like now people are talking more about like tall, skinny men being attractive.
Oh, really?
I think
you
so.
Not all of that. Well, yeah, I know what you mean because obviously, like Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian. Latest. Yeah. It's wild that people are fancying people based off of trends. Come on, you know, like surely.
Just at least like have that.
Like what you like.
Yeah. Should we start going through the polls now?
So we asked you guys a bunch of different questions on our polls. Again, to do with body image and body trends. So this one says, have you ever felt insecure about your body / a part of your body? An overwhelming 100% of you guys said yes.
That's completely unsurprising to me because I can't imagine going through your whole life never feeling insecure about your body. You must be like a different level of vain.
You know what? I actually have like a memory stuck in my head to do with you. I don't know if you remember this. But it was like a really popular girl in school who was really nice, very pretty. And she was older than us. And I remember you started to like have a few conversations with her here and there. And we had like a sleepover or something afterwards, and you said, "Did you know X, Y, and Z is insecure? Like she has insecurities." And you were like, we were like 12, by the way, but you were like blown away by the fact that this girl had insecurities. You were like, I think that was when you were like, "Damn, we're all fucked."
Shit, man.
Because everyone really put this girl on a pedestal, and I remember thinking, because I think like, I don't know why, but I kind of gasped like every girl had insecurities because of things that I'd seen on TV shows and stuff. Of like every girl being like, "Oh, I look so big in this, blah blah blah." I was like, yeah, I thought every girl has, and I kind of just accepted it as, yeah, that's just what girls are like. But I think you probably thought girls that you know don't have as much like constant praise as someone like her. I mean, everyone says that she's pretty every day.
Yeah, so true.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's still not going, like, even with all of that constant like affirmation of her looks from everyone, boys and girls, she still doesn't feel like she is 10 out of 10, even though everyone else sees it
so
that way.
So true. No, it is mad.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, if that doesn't work, then what will?
Yeah, exactly. But no, everyone has at least something that bothers them about their physical appearance.
Yeah.
And I think maturity is coming to a point where you stop obsessing over those things and just like really learn to just embrace it and accept it and just know that it doesn't define you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously easier said than done, but it really doesn't. The same with model person. Come on.
Exactly. Another question we asked was, have you ever struggled to dress for your body type? And 82% said yes, and 18% said no.
I'm surprised that this wasn't another 100%, if I'm honest.
Yeah, to be honest, because I feel like it's so hard to find like the perfect pair of jeans. Like for
it just doesn't happen.
No, women's bodies are just so different, and like, you know, our waist and hips, they can vary so much. Our thighs can all vary so much, and even if we're the same height and the same, we might weigh the same amount as well. The way our body like places. The
fluctuates.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the different dips are in different spaces. Some people have smaller waists, some people have bigger hips.
Exactly.
There's no like one size fits all. I remember feeling really ashamed actually because of the way that jeans used to fit me. Because I would always have to get like, I mean, I was so scared of us being a certain size, like a certain number would scare me so much, and I would try so hard to like fit into jeans that would fit my waist but just would be so uncomfortable around my thighs.
Yeah.
And it's like I had to pick one.
I know, that's how it feels like still sometimes.
100% still. And now I'm just like, I need a tailor. It's not me, it's them.
I know, genuinely, that's what I've concluded in life. Or I just need to go to Brazil for my I bought the perfect pair of jeans in Brazil.
Everyone always compliments you on these jeans.
They do as well.
Why did you get that? And this is another thing, like, a lot of the girls that have complimented you on that have been like, I always struggle to find the perfect pair of jeans. Like, don't we fucking all?
Yeah, we all know it. Yeah, because it's so hard. And, like, the fact that it varies from different shop to shop, like, from Primark to H&M, a size 10 can look and feel completely different in both stores.
100%.
I do feel like the older generation, when I say older, I mean, like, millennials, I feel like they had a bit more of a mentality where, like, they, would like want to lose weight to be able to fit into a smaller pair of jeans. Yeah, whereas I think these days is a bit different. Like you definitely see more baggy jeans, like that's more of a trend now.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's still certain like sizes that feel like they're still not like applicable, especially with the wave of like low rise jeans coming back. It's very like it can feel quite isolating for people that just aren't comfortable with their stomachs.
So true.
But it's just like such a trend now, and it's very popular. Some jeans just will not. You can't even just like choose to have it low and like or just bring it up. Like nope, it will not go past the crotch area.
I think that's when the problem happens, is like when that's the only option and you can't dress like that because. Very
segregating.
But I do think we live in more of an era where like different body types are accepted, and especially on social media people talk a lot about body positivity and body image. And I think that is different to like what we were experiencing as we were growing up. I think the only body positive like person online was Gokwan. Remember him? I always think about him and I'm like, I wonder what he's doing these days.
Living life.
I think he's a DJ these days.
Well I've seen him on TV. He's on Celebrity Gogglebox.
That's
living
nice.
life.
That's good for him.
I also think something that is new that I just wanted to mention is the use of models for certain fashion brands. Now it's almost like blasphemous if a brand doesn't have plus size models.
Or even petite models.
It's like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be inclusive. This is like, it's like one of the main cornerstones of being inclusive is having different sized models. That being said, it is a tick box. Like, there are plus size models. All the plus size models meet a certain criteria. They all have hourglass figures.
That's so true as well.
And they don't have. I mean, it's like one extreme to another. It's like all their other models are tiny, and all the clothes look a certain way on them. And then you go to plus size models, and they're all hourglass, but there's no models that are just average size, which is the majority of the country. Which is like size 10 to 16.
And when they don't have an hourglass figure, so like the waist doesn't go in, or like they have a belly bigger than boobs. Like, I think you're right when you were saying about the kind of the plus size models that I see online. They still match a lot of the beauty standards in a way. And it's almost like you're only allowed to be plus size if you're this kind of plus size, you know what I mean?
Ratio, hip to waist ratio. Yeah, definitely. And I think as well, in the wave of online fashion, you know, e-commerce fashion, which is how a lot of us shop these days. You don't often go into a store unless you're sort of just having a day out anyway. It's hard to rely on these models when it's either one body type or another. We just clarified with everyone that there's more than two different types of body types, How are you supposed to shop? How are you supposed to rely on those photos?
Yeah.
Most of the time you don't. Most of the time, a lot of us just expect to have to send things back.
No, it's true. Yeah.
And we shouldn't accept those things. We should see more of us. I mean, they're never going to get every single kind of body type, but I mean, more than 2 would be nice, you know?
Yeah, I know. Try a little bit harder, please.
Yeah, please. Has your body image ever affected your relationships / the way you approach relationships? Interesting. It's completely 50-50.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I would say no. Like, I don't think that's ever been a problem for me. I don't think, like...
Mine has.
What do you think?
Yeah. I think just with my own confidence, not with, like, the way that someone's received me, more so just how I felt, like, being with someone, especially when it comes to, like, being intimate with someone, and obviously you're bearing yourself, and if you still have certain insecurities, and also I think it's more difficult if, look, at the end of the day, I'm attracted to a certain kind of body type in guys, so then I feel like if I have a certain body type that I look for in guys, then surely they have a certain body type that they look for in girls, and I'm like, am I meeting that?
Yeah.
You can get very much in your head when you're not 100% happy with your body.
No, that's so true. Yeah, and you might not feel good enough.
Yeah.
But then you also feel like a bit of a hypocrite, because it's like, well, if I want a guy to fully accept me for me, I have to fully accept them for them.
Yeah,
but I'm
exactly.
not, because I want them to look like this.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that it has, in as much as it sort of made me a little bit more reserved than I would have wanted to be in certain situations, you know, especially when you first start seeing someone and you're a bit more like covered, and you wear baggier clothes when you like have a big meal and stuff like that. So I would say so. Great if you haven't though. I mean, I think that's like a lot of confidence is required for that not to have gone in the way.
I think maybe the only thing is like being conscious about hair, and I think that's one of the questions that comes up. It's like, I feel like I need to be perfectly shaved.
Well, 55% of people agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, actually, that's not as high as I thought it would be.
I thought it would be higher. I thought more people would feel the pressure to be hairless. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's pissed me off. Sorry, that's just. Sorry. Because every single person that voted yes is female, and the people that voted no, okay, there's some girls that have voted no, but obviously no boys voted yes. I'm sick of it, because I actually want dolphin smooth skin on everyone. I think everyone should be born without hair. That's just because I just don't like the feel of hair.
Yeah.
Mine's not like, it's not discriminatory towards girls. I just don't really like hair on it. Like, I hate my boyfriend's hairy hair. I hate them, and I don't like his hair under his armpits. I just don't think I just think everyone should be like a dolphin.
Smooth.
I just think if you have a certain set of standards for someone, I wonder if these guys that voted no would also accept a female that they're seeing to not shave.
I remember talking to this one guy who I had no interest in dating, but but I remember him saying to me like that women should be hairless from here and downwards. So basically, no, you're not allowed any mustache hair. You're not allowed any like baby fluff on your face. No armpit hair. No genital
hairs.
Yeah, no fucking hair anywhere.
No pubic hair.
You know what's funny about this?
Great.
You know what's funny about this? I've spoken to like several different friendship groups about nipple hair on women.
Yeah.
And I just find it so funny because like the men don't know like that actually a lot of women have hairy nipples.
Yeah.
Like when I say hairy, I mean like 1 centimeter long thick black hair coming out of their nipples.
Yeah.
And that's very like it's very normal.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I just don't think they even know about it in the first
Get
place.
to know. I'm
Get
sorry.
to know.
You can't come in here and act like you're a female connoisseur and you know how to pleasure a woman. You know all the things about that female body. You already know about that. Oh my god, guys, stop talking to me. I know.
Yeah.
No, you don't, because you don't know about hairy nipples, do you?
So yeah, exactly.
No, you don't.
And if you do know and you've got a problem with it, look at yourself. Take a look at the fucking mirror,
Yeah.
alright?
I'm sorry, but that person that said a woman should be hairless from here, do you know how much work that takes? Do you know how expensive that would be?
And do you know how like painful that is as well? Because getting wax is not pain free.
No.
And
it's
all
not
the
cheap.
other options,
Full body wax.
It's not cheap. And then what else is there? Laser hair removal. Shaving can cause irritation.
Yeah.
And the
undesirable effects. So it's like you're getting rid of one undesired thing to gain another. It's not worth it.
And what for? Like, if I'm like quite happy just living with my hairy self, what's your fucking problem?
Certainly won't be getting in pain for you.
Ain't it? Not for you.
Don't be silly. Be stupid.
Stupid is.
Don't be stupid. Come on. No, that's really dumb.
Yeah.
I bet that he had hairy legs as well.
Oh yeah, he was.
Of course he did.
He was extremely hairy.
Someone needs to wax him without notice.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
Like, remember what you said? That everywhere is what you want a woman to do.
Yeah.
And you want her to just like spread her cheeks so some stranger can do it and spend hundreds to upkeep. No. Anyway, we asked, what do you think are some of the differences men face versus women when it comes to body image? So that kind of leads nicely on to what we were talking about.
Yeah, the hairy men.
Yeah. So someone said, body images become a trend and women are expected to fit the mould. So I'm assuming that they mean, and then they said men want to be tall, bulk, strong, focus less on tummy fat and more on their muscle.
Yeah.
I agree. However, I do think that there is a bit more of a shift towards women building muscle these days as well.
Yeah, well, I actually said something about that. I said,
oh yeah. Muscles are deemed more attractive on men than on women. Yeah.
And I think that is still the case. I think a lot of men are a little bit like, they don't want to be in a relationship with a woman that looks more muscular than them or like has really big shoulders or big arms or whatever. I think that's still kind of a trend, but at the same time, because there's a lot more like women in the fitness field now and like a lot of fitness influencers, I think amongst women, we really love and praise other women that are muscle mammies.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
I think in the West, it's definitely becoming more of a thing for girls to like focus on like reforming and instead of losing weight, like reforming their bodies, so losing fat, building muscle, rather than just getting smaller. But I do feel like in certain countries, I know that in, for example, Australia, there is still quite a big trend on like, you know, slimmer girls rather than muscles. It's more about like losing weight, being really lean. So I think it depends on the culture, I guess, but where we are, muscles are the thing.
Like getting big thighs, big butt.
I think a lot of guys would probably be more okay with a girl having like muscly thighs because that equates to usually having a bigger bum.
Yeah.
But I think arms would be another story.
Because that's like almost looking masculine.
Yeah.
But we don't go to the gym for you.
I really hope you know that.
Yeah. It's funny because like no men actually attacked us. That's all there is. But,
oh god.
Yeah, some other responses that we got. So someone said that like a difference between men and women is that men will insult another man's body image as motivation, whereas women tend not to be as mean. What do you think about that?
I disagree. Women can be mean.
I think women can be mean, yeah. But then to like insult another woman's body image as motivation, like I don't think women really do tend to do that. Like I wouldn't say to a woman, yeah, you look really fat, you need to get yourself in the gym and whatever. Like I wouldn't say that.
Well, I think it's more so like for example, well, how I perceived it was like a lot of guys sometimes will say, oh no, like yeah, that guy's like really skinny, or he's just really skinny. Like I'm focused on like making sure that I can like build, like, you know, in the same breath of like putting that person down for being really skinny, that than saying, oh, I need to make sure that I'm like, you know, working on building my arms. That's something I'm focusing on, my back, blah blah. And I do think that's I've heard girls say that. I've heard girls go, yeah, no, she's actually not like, you know, in real life she's actually not like got like that good of a bum, you know. I'm really focusing on my bum. Like I'm really gonna go to the gym and like focus on my bum, because I feel like a lot of these girls like just don't. Like just don't. Like, they're actually quite like they're actually quite skinny, like their legs quite skinny.
You know what, like, I think maybe I'll admit, I tend to question people's bodies a lot on the internet. Yeah.
I think that's...
I do enter into conversations being like, I'm seeing this girl and she looks like she's really curvy or whatever, but I'm questioning about it because I'm like, maybe it's actually just the body, the angles, and maybe it's just like her body type can look better on images, but whereas in real life she might not look like that. I feel like I do talk like that.
I think as well that there's a very fine line between like questioning something and just keep your sanity, so you're not like constantly looking at these fake images as like gym
goals.
Motivation. But then also it's very easy to go from, oh, is that, you know, is that just angles, or is she really like building that booty? To then go to actually, do you know what? No, she's probably really skinny. Like, I've actually really looked at her pictures and she's probably like bad skinny.
Yeah, because that's like, now you're a hater. Yeah.
Or like if you see someone complimenting someone and someone interjects and says, oh no, I've seen her in real life, like, no, they're not even got abs, it's just the lighting, like they're actually like, they've got quite a bit of belly fat. I really like focus on my belly fat, you know. Like, I feel like we're all pretty bad for that, especially if you are an avid gym goer, then you do get super hyper focused and analytical on other people's gains and losses. I think it's just natural because you're so used to looking at yourself in the mirror. That is just kind of a side effect.
There's a bit of a toxic thing that I don't like about gym culture, which is why I feel like sometimes I don't want to take it so seriously. Like, I'll just go to the gym whenever I want to go, whenever I feel like I want to go, and I don't want to have a like strict set of body goals that I want to reach, or like can become too critical. I don't like that. Another question we asked is, who do you think has it worse, boys, girls, or both? 0% said boys, 58% said girls, and 42% said both.
I actually think this is kind of dangerous, and the fact that no one said boys. I get why. You know, most of our audience are female. Most of us have experienced at least one stranger commenting on our bodies, probably. It's very rife in the mainstream media, people commenting on celebrity female bodies, on any female bodies. It's very common. So I get why people would think that. But in my opinion, there is a massive culture amongst people feeling very comfortable commenting and criticising a man's body. And it's not really moved as much as the female culture has.